I'm delighted to say we can welcome to the studio former Wimbledon champion Marion Bartoli. It's fantastic to have you with us, looking absolutely stunning.
Thank you, Annabel.
Welcome.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
I'm so happy to be back with you, Matt and Annabel. We used to work sometimes the same channel elsewhere, so really happy to see you again.
Well,
nice
it's lovely to have you with us. So give us your thoughts on the tournament as a whole, and of course the women's final that we've got coming up tomorrow.
Well, an amazing tournament again. I think really Muguruza has been stepping up in her game. We start to discover her in a way last year when she beat Serena Williams at Roland Garros 6-2, 6-2, second round. No one really heard about her before. I remember the first time I saw her play, she got a wild card to play Miami. She was represented by the same management agency as Miami is owning the tournament. I don't know if we can say the name, but they gave her a wild card. She lost to Flavia Pennetta, but I saw her play, and she was playing for me not like a Spanish player. Someone inside the court taking the ball so early, being tall and really being aggressive. So I was really surprised by the way, you know, I used to know Carla Suarez Navarro, all those Spanish players really retrieving far behind the baseline. And all of a sudden you see her coming inside, playing aggressively, and I was like, well, this is a player that looks really to be, for me, a future possibility to be a star of the game. Fast forward 3 or 4 years later, she takes another stage against Serena and completely blow her away on the court. 6-2, 6-2, and showing absolutely no fear. And for me, this is something that's going to help her tomorrow. This player is fearless. She enters the court, she feels she wants to be there more than anything. She's not afraid, absolutely not. She dreamed to win a Grand Slam. And she said, actually, she tweeted about it, she said, in my dream, when I wanted to win a Grand Slam, I saw Serena on the other side of the net. So I think she's ready for this one. She's not afraid, and she beat Serena before. Of course, Serena is going to be massively the favorite. She beat against Maria again, not really beating her, but almost destroying her once more. And she's arriving massively as a favorite. But for me, if Muguruza is not winning this year, she's going to win this tournament or another Grand Slam at some point. She's really a Grand Slam winner because she played for it. She's not waiting like Agnieszka Radwanska is coming. She's go and getting it. And that's the way I think you can only lift a Grand Slam trophy.
I have to then ask, because when you played your finals against Sabine Lisicki, you were completely unafraid, it looked like. Did you have to do something different to be unafraid in the Wimbledon final, or were you actually able to say, well, it's just another match?
Well, for me, I think being able... I slept a little bit on that shot. I think having played a final before massively helped me because what happened is in 2007, I played Justina on Friday night, and on Saturday morning, so I had no day off because of the rain, I wake up and all of a sudden he hits me that actually I was about to play the Wimbledon final. And in a way, you train so hard for it. You wait so much for it that it becomes overwhelming to think it's right there. It's maybe in 2 hours time when you will get on the court, you can actually succeed, you can win, and you can make your dream a reality. And the whole prospect of that was just completely overwhelming. And in 2013, I was like, you know what? I have 3 more matches to play. Saturday I have a match, but then Monday I have another match, and Wednesday after that I have another match, and the tournament is not over yet. And I think it helped me so much because for me, it was just another match towards getting finally my dream, but it was not ending up right there.
Right.
That's why I think I was so surprised when I won, because I was like, really? That's it? It's over? So, really? I have the trophy now?
So it's nearly separate. Like the match is one thing, and then the prize ceremony was like another moment in your life.
It was completely another moment. I think it was another moment when I untied my shoes. You know, I was on the chair, and you have to wait for the Duke of Kent to come on the court, and Philippe Brook and Richard. And I untied my shoe, I put my bracelet back, and I was like, God, this is really it. This is it. And when Sue Baker introduced me and the ladies singles 2013 Women's Champion and say my name, it was a complete state of shock. And honestly, if I'm completely honest, when I lived the moment live, I couldn't really remember much. It's when I saw the DVD afterwards that actually he hit me back, and I had the memory starting to kick back. And that's why I think it took me so many months to realize. For 15 days in a row after that, I was reading the newspaper every day of the Sunday of the next day to make sure I won. I was slipping the trophy to make sure I won, because the last thing I wanted is to wake up one day saying, no, actually, Marion Bartoli is not the Wimbledon champion at all.
It was all a dream.
It was just a dream. You just have to go another time to the practice court. So that's definitely one of the special days. You know it when you win a Grand Slam, when you won the French Open. That's one of those moments that you can cherish forever.
Yeah.
You can tell your kids forever. And I could tell one day, yes, mommy, she won Wimbledon. She did it.
Yeah. Had it been a dream of yours since you were first picking up a tennis racket? Was it something you just always visualised, that you would be standing there holding that beautiful rose bowl?
I think, I did a combination of two things. I was idolizing Pete Sampras, and obviously seeing him lifting that trophy so many times in here. And then I had the luck to see the Davis Cup final in 1991, France against USA. It was 2 hours away from my home. It was in Lyon. And we are completely the underdog. The USA team is Pete Sampras and Agassi, and the #1 doubles team in the world. French team is Henri Lecomte, completely injured, coming back from a back surgery, and Guy Forget. We are the outdog, and Yannick Noah on the bench, and we win. And I think I made the combination of the two, and I really wanted to win Wimbledon. And when I was 8 years of age, as a birthday present wishing list, I wrote to my parents, #1, Wimbledon, winning Wimbledon or Wimbledon trophy. #2, Monopoly board, and #3, some paints.
Wow.
And my parent kept the letter.
Oh.
So at home, I have the replica of the Wimbledon trophy, and they framed my letter when I
Yeah.
was
Oh,
8
how
years of age,
wonderful.
or about to be 8 years of age,
Yeah.
and the wishes I had back then.
And it's
Wow.
interesting, Marion, that you're a French person and a French player. You have a Grand Slam in France, and yet your dreams were to win here at Wimbledon on the grass.
I know, I think because I saw Pete, and back then, honestly, Roland Garros was not displayed that much on TV. It was only a little bit the final. It's not broadcast as it is right now, when it's becoming. You turn on the TV, you have Roland Garros. It's right on your face. You cannot
Yeah.
escape it. It was not the case back then, and I think Wimbledon for me was so pure. It was looking so perfect. It was so elegant on these greens, on this court. It was the history, and I just make probably the chemistry of the two. But I'm sure winning the French Open is something extremely special. Looking back then, of course, being a French player, I would have loved to be lifting that Coupe Suzanne Lenglen, of course, absolutely. But to have my name engraved on that trophy forever, that's something I'm quite proud of.
And
Yeah,
you
of course.
retired very soon afterwards, didn't you? I thought it was a very brave decision, but clearly the right one. But what did make you decide to retire so soon after having held that Wimbledon trophy?
Well, I always had this passion of mine outside of the court, where it's jewelry and designing and creating and
Is this
arts
what you're
and
wearing
crafting.
here?
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
It's like, there's lots of jangly bits going on your body at the
I had
moment.
quite a lot. Serena is actually wearing mine, and she's been wearing one for Roland Garros she won. So she said, "Marion, we keep the same good luck charm
Oh,
thing." So she's
okay.
wearing, and I had always this passion outside of the court. So when I was traveling around the world for my tennis, I was always bringing with me some of my pain, some of my hearts. That was helping me to really de-stress in a way, take the stress away. So when I won in here, I always been extremely honest. I never played for the money. I always played just for the pure love of the game, but also trying to fulfill my dream. I honestly wished I could have fulfilled in 2007, because I would have had all those years. But I know when I won Wimbledon, my body was just breaking in pieces. I had a very bad shoulder, I had a very bad back, I had a very, very bad Achilles. My physio had to work so much on my body every single day. I was actually spending more time with my physio than the practice court or even the gym. That's how bad it was.
It was really bad.
And after the whole thing happened, I took 10 days off because of all the media and all the press and all the solicitation. And when I started to practice back again, I had 45 minutes, not pain-free, but pain that was acceptable. After 45 minutes of practice, I just couldn't practice anymore. Not even practice.
Yeah.
I was on an ultimate high. I couldn't fly even higher than that. And all I could do was 45 minutes. So I sit with my team and my physio and my father, and I was like, we all made the point that if it's something that stays like that and we cannot improve it, then then you play tennis just for basically, printing some money for a year until you arrive for the next Wimbledon and you lose your title. Is that me? No.
No.
I'm just too honest. I played for the love of the game, and because when I step in the court, I knew I could give 100% during the course of the match. As soon as I felt I couldn't do that anymore, for me it was time to walk away.
Yeah, and life has gone in a very different direction.
Yeah, life is great. I'm enjoying so much my time on the tennis. When I came, doing 4 times 2 weeks, I do a little bit of commentary also elsewhere. I work with you guys. I love it. I work for Fox Sport Asia for the first time. I just love to be behind the scene, but also to give those insights to those viewers, because I think they're they really want to get into the players. They really want to understand how the game functions, and it's great to work with a great team, as we know. And then I have this jewelry and all my designs outside. It takes so many hours of mine, but I absolutely adore it.
Yeah.
And
Are
I
you still-
sometimes play a little bit of tennis as well. So
Yeah.
life is amazing.
Are you still painting?
I do. I still paint. Absolutely, I do oil paint. I do water paint. I always go to exhibitions. I spent a little bit of time in London, sometimes even outside of Wimbledon. I'm coming here to practice, but there's some beautiful museum. I'm a student in Central St. Martin's, which is the highest level of fashion schools. So I'm always taking some courses there, going with my teacher and sketching and learning. And also there is so much creativity in those schools. So you can take courses for ceramic, you can take courses for embroidery, hand embroidery. I've done two, I just finished myself with my own hands, my two first dresses with Swarovski's embroidered in
Oh,
them.
lovely.
That I sew. I was so proud of myself in
Yeah.
a way. So, it's just doing something completely different, but I loved it as much as I love tennis. And my life felt very much complete.
Yeah, I want to ask about your
Excellent.
dad actually, because your dad was so much a fixture of the tennis world. You always travelled together. I think maybe there was one small period where you didn't travel together, then you would come back together. But life must have changed for him because he must have spent so many years on the tour with you.
I think he feels so relieved now.
Yes,
I
yeah.
think
'Cause your mum's a
for
nurse,
most of
isn't
my
she?
parents, they were like, "Thanks, she
Yeah.
finally retired. Yes, we don't have to travel again. We don't have to have all this stress. We don't have to, look at the matches." And my parents are grandparents for the second time now. My brother has his second
right.
baby, so they're really, really happy. They spend time with their grandchild. The first one, Leo, is about to turn 4, so he started to really speak well. And my father is spending a lot of time with him. He started to play tennis
Okay.
as well a little bit. He loves it. He loves his tennis. I told him one phrase. I said, "Leo, who is the best tennis player?" And he always goes, "It's Marion, it's Auntie Marion." So he
Auntie
knows
Marion.
he knows his word, obviously. But they have a different life. My father is still helping me a lot now with my new kind of business venture. I always call him, not every day, but I give him some news. We actually going to go in Corsica, which is my home, in vacation after Wimbledon to kind of all regroup with my boyfriend as well. So it's just nice family time, peaceful time that. Of course, we didn't have the chance to for 15 years, but I always knew my life would be in phases in a way.
Yeah.
For 15 years, from 15 to 30, was all about tennis. And I sacrificed everything for my dream. I made it happen. I had the luck to make it happen. But then, life goes
Yeah.
on. There is another phases, and this other phase is completely different. And probably when I would be a mom, it would be again completely different.
Yeah.
Just go by phase.
What do you think that the most important thing you've learned from tennis that you take through the next part of your life? What do you
I
think
think
players
it's-
need to learn from tennis?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. I think humility, to be humble. I think, it's very easy to start to get inside your head that you're so great. You hear that a lot from everyone, right? Especially when you win. You get some, the sponsor comes to you and say how great you are. The crown comes to you and say how great you are. And you start to lose the vision of what life is really and how successful person are humble, because all of that can fall all of a sudden. You have a bad match or you have a bad attitude on the court and it falls. You can be the most successful commentator and you have a very bad day and you say something stupid on TV and it falls. So I think humility and make sure you arrive prepared, make sure you do your homework, make sure you're doing things properly in respect for the people who are listening to you, or as well as the respect when you are playing tennis, the people who are paying their tickets to come and watch you. It's extremely important, and I would try to teach the same to my kids as much as possible. I think that's something my father taught me because, he's a heart surgeon. So when you have the life of someone in your hands, humility is very important because you can have all the studies, you can have all those diplomas in a way. It comes down to if you're able to execute it or not, and repetitively. And for me, that was something I always been very careful of. It's staying extremely humble, knowing that something I have today can disappear tomorrow, and not taking anything for granted.
Yeah, I want to bring you
Excellent.
back to Wimbledon 2015. We've got your thoughts on Garbine Muguruza, but you must give us your thoughts on Serena. You played many times.
I did, absolutely. I think she's for me the fierce competitors. I think she possesses so many qualities and she masters so many qualities. That's why she's the greatest. She refused to lose. She refused to give up on the court. I think for me one of the most impressive win I saw her was winning Roland Garros, because she was so ill, she was so not on her best, and still be able to win on clay. And she had so many disappointments in that tournament. So many times she lost first or second round. The year before losing to Muguruza, and that this year being able to pull it out and win 7 matches in that kind of shape, honestly, it's completely adds off, because when you won already 19 Grand Slam, it can be quite easy to say, you know what, I have 40 degrees fever, but I'm ill. You know, give me a break and I can go and rest home. No, I think when she's on the verge to lose, that's where Serena is the most dangerous. And of course she has the amazing serve. Of course she plays so aggressive. Of course she has so much experience. But what struck me the most, and I played against many generations in a way. I played into the generation of Jennifer Capriati, Lindsay Davenport, Monica Seles, Justina and Kim Clijsters, Serena, Venus. I went through this kind of 2 generations once, and I never saw that in any other players. You know, you always feel a little bit of not weakness, but you feel something in your eyes of your opponent. Actually, you can say, I can beat you today. With Serena, I mean, if you're able to beat her in a final for Grand Slam when it's your first final, then it's major respect, because that is for me the toughest act you can possibly ask to a player.
And of course she has a French coach in Patrick Mouratoglou, which was an unusual tie-up, because it happened when she had that early round loss to Virginie Rosano out on centre court, the Philippe Chatrier court there, and it was a phone call, wasn't it, to Patrick? I don't know how it came about, but it's obviously been a very successful partnership. What do you think he's brought to her game?
You know what happened is Patrick was coaching before Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova and Ara van Rezai, and Serena had a very tough match against Ara van Rezai in Sydney, and she realized that Patrick was coaching Ara van, and to see the difference in her game and the difference he was making, she was, you know, kind of saying, well, if one day maybe I need a coach, that might be the one I'm going to call. So she lost the first round to Virginie Rosano when everyone was expecting her actually to win the tournament, and she all of a sudden realized she needed some help, and she pick up her phone, called Patrick, who had an academy just outside of Paris, saying, hi, Serena Williams, can I come tomorrow in your academy and practice?
Met really before?
No, not really, just on the tour saying hello, but nothing more than that. And Patrick said, yes, obviously, absolutely.
Turning down the world number one.
But, you know, for 1 week, she went to the academy every day, practicing with Sasha, who was back then her hitting partner, now the coach of Victoria Azarenka, and Patrick didn't say anything. He just watched and absorbed, and kind of trying to understand Serena's game, trying to understand her, speaking to her, asking questions, but didn't come up with a plan before a week. And then they went on to start together and to have a success we know. But to work with Patrick, because we commentate for the same channel as well, he has something that is, I think, crucial when you're 33 years of age and you keep chasing something. He has this positivity every single day. Every single day he has so much energy. He comes down, you know,
Never says no to an interview.
Serena has played so many times here. It's a little bit easy to walk in and say, well, another Wimbledon. And Patrick is like, we're so excited, it's Wimbledon again, you know, it's so cool, we are here, we're so lucky. And that gives you this positive energy to say, yes, actually, I am lucky. I am lucky to go and walk out on this court, let's enjoy it, let's have a blast. And that, when you have, in a way, lived so much and gained so much and lifting so much trophies, it helps you to give that kind of sparkle again, to feel like you're a kid again and you're living the dream again. And I think that's all Serena did, and obviously she knows herself very well. She won 14 or 15 Grand Slam before with Richard Williams, her dad, so she knows what she's doing. But I think she needed at that time a little bit of regaining of that sparkle and that energy that she was maybe feeling that was leaving her a little bit.
Yeah. Is he quite an absorber of her stress? Do you think there's more stress underneath Serena Williams'
there is a lot of stress. There is a lot of stress against Serena, but I think she sometimes openly speak about it. She said, I'm always very nervous before first round of her Grand Slam, always. It's very difficult. And if you're able to crack that the way Heather Watson did, in a way, that's when you can have a chance. And very interestingly, Aurastine Williams was watching Venus' match that was happening during the match of Serena. She was a little bit walking back and forth between 2 courts, and she came back when Serena was down 3-love in the third. Maybe if she comes back the next change event and it's actually 5-love or 4-1, maybe Serena would not have been able to win this match. But 3-love, you know, she need that extra support. She need that love, in a way. She need that affection in order to to just play at her best now. And she feel with her family and with Patrick and with her and with Jill Smaller as well, her agent, she has all this love, she has all those people together with her, supporting her no matter what, not judging her, but just supporting her there. And then she can lift mountains and well, she has
what
been
she's doing.
yeah, that's what she's
Okay,
doing.
before we let you go, because you've been so fascinating, Miriam, I was going to call you there. Could you just tell us what you think is going to happen in the final tomorrow? Who's going to come through it, and who's going to have their name on that trophy?
I think Serena will win. I think the first set will be very close. I probably expect a 7-5, 6-2, maybe. A very tough first set, I think, because I think Albine would just come out and fire. I think she would not be afraid, and she's in a way she's riding the wave. So if she start to realize it would be after the tournament, not now. So I think she will come out firing. But Serena at some point is going to be able to break her, and once she will be able to break her and walk out with the first set, she probably will win the match. But again, if Garbiñe Muguruza is not winning this year, she will win a Grand Slam at some point.
Okay,
Right,
been
agreed.
absolutely fascinating. Thank
Yes.
you so much,
Thank you
Marion,
very
and you're
much.
looking
My
absolutely
pleasure.
fabulous. And
Oh,
we really
thank
wish you all
you.
the very best of luck with your jewellery as
Thank
well.
you,
It's really
Annabel.
beautiful.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.